The reality is straightforward. Women engage in games. Grasping these dynamics is crucial for enhancing your appeal to women. Your understanding of their games will influence how often they think about you during the day. The more they think about you, the stronger their attraction will be, leading to a greater sense of chemistry. If you fail to recognize or manage these games, you risk getting caught in a cycle of confusion, frustration, and heartache. It's important to note that the existence of these games isn't your fault, but it is your duty to navigate them wisely. One moment, everything seems perfect, and the next, she disappears without explanation. Or perhaps she sends you mixed signals. One day she's enthusiastic, and the next she's aloof. It can be exasperating. Today, I'm sharing 10 foolproof strategies to outsmart any woman who tries to toy with your feelings. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-mastery through Stoicism. You will become the steady presence amidst chaos, the resilient man who cannot be swayed. This approach goes beyond relationships. It's about reclaiming control over your life. Prepare yourself. These 10 Stoic strategies will transform your approach to relationships. Before we explore these strategies, let's clarify. Why do women engage in these games? Tactics like ghosting, breadcrumbing, and fluctuating behavior are all designed to test your emotional resilience. Women employ these methods to assess their influence over you, to manipulate, or to instill self-doubt. The unfortunate truth is that if they succeed, you lose. They will lose respect for you, leaving you in a position of chasing their approval. The encouraging news is that you don't have to participate in this game. Rather than being a pawn in her emotional ups and downs, you will take charge of your feelings. Through Stoicism, you will learn to maintain your composure. The initial strategy serves as the cornerstone for everything else. Achieve emotional detachment. This doesn't imply that you stop caring. Rather, it means you're no longer governed by your feelings or her behavior. Many men become anxious when a woman starts to play games. They tend to overanalyze, attempt to fix things, or become overly eager for her attention. The reality is that women are testing your reactions. They want to gauge how you handle pressure. When you respond emotionally by pursuing her, seeking her validation, or trying to win her back, you fail the test. Women tend to lose respect for men who allow their emotions to dictate their actions. So, what should you do instead? Stay composed. Whether she's bombarding you with texts or hasn't responded in days, keep your cool. Be grounded. Your emotional state shouldn't hinge on her actions. Avoid chasing. Show her that you remain unshaken. By practicing emotional detachment, you enhance your attractiveness. Why is that? Because women are attracted to men who exude calmness and confidence in any circumstance. Emotional stability conveys strength, and strength is what makes you appealing. Consider emotional detachment as a skill that strengthens with practice. Start by applying it in daily interactions. If she distances herself or behaves coldly, remind yourself that her actions don't determine your value. If she disappears from communication, view it as a chance to move on rather than a blow to your self-esteem. The more you cultivate emotional detachment, the more control you regain, not just in relationships, but in all aspects of life. You'll stop acting on impulse, make wiser choices, and exude a steadfast confidence. If you're prepared to reclaim your power and refuse to let emotional manipulation dictate your life, this is your starting point. Let's continue. The second strategy involves recognizing behavioral patterns. Women often behave based on subconscious or intentional patterns, and identifying these behaviors is crucial for navigating emotional dynamics. Understanding these patterns reveals their intentions, allowing you to anticipate their moves and respond effectively. Let's explore some common patterns. The push-pull strategy, hot and cold behavior, is a prime example. One day, she may be texting you constantly, showering you with compliments, and discussing future plans. The next day, she might become distant, cold, or entirely unresponsive. This can be frustrating, but it's a typical push-pull tactic meant to test whether you will pursue her when she pulls away. Recognize this as a challenge to your emotional stability. Women often want to gauge how easily they can elicit a reaction from you. Many men falter by panicking and intensifying their pursuit, asking questions like, "Did I do something wrong?" Or, "Are you upset with me?" Instead, maintain your composure and don't react. By not chasing after her, you change the dynamic, leaving her to wonder why you didn't engage in the game, which may lead her to pursue you instead. This behavior isn't always intentional. Sometimes, women may do it unconsciously, testing their self-esteem without realizing it. Regardless, your reaction should remain consistent. Stay steady and resolute. Breadcrumbing occurs when she provides just enough attention to keep you engaged. Occasional flirty messages, vague plans to meet up, but never fully commits. This keeps you invested without any real advancement. How should you respond? Address it calmly and confidently. I'm not looking for half-hearted attention. If you're not interested in spending time together, that's okay, but I won't be waiting around. By clearly and unemotionally stating your boundaries, you show self-respect. You're not angry or desperate. You're simply refusing to accept anything less than you deserve. This tactic compels her to either make a genuine effort or walk away, and either result benefits you. The third strategy: establish boundaries early. Setting boundaries is essential not only for your protection, but also for earning respect. The reality is that if you fail to establish boundaries from the start, you send a message that your needs can be overlooked. Many men hesitate to set boundaries due to the fear of pushing women away, but in fact, women appreciate clear boundaries. They demonstrate self-respect, and a man who values himself is naturally appealing. How to set boundaries without being overbearing. Boundaries focus on your own well-being rather than controlling her actions. They express what you require to feel valued in the relationship. For instance, if she often cancels plans at the last minute, don't ignore it. Address it calmly. "I've noticed you've been canceling a lot recently, and I appreciate consistency. If you're not keen on making plans work, that's okay, but I'm not comfortable with this inconsistency." This isn't an attack or an accusation. It's a clear statement of your boundary. This method compels her to either honor your expectations or leave, ensuring you protect your emotional well-being. Jealousy and boundaries. Picture this. She flirts with other guys in your presence, perhaps to gauge your reaction or stir up jealousy. Many men either react with anger or remain silent. Instead, try this approach. Later, calmly take her aside and say, "I'm not interested in playing games. If you like other guys, that's your choice, but I won't be part of that." Notice that you're maintaining your composure. You're establishing a boundary, expressing your expectations, and giving her the option to either honor it or lose you. The importance of boundaries. Boundaries not only safeguard your emotional well-being, but also foster self-respect and earn respect from others. Women are attracted to men who assertively express their needs, as it reflects strength, maturity, and worth. By setting boundaries, you prevent being taken for granted, clarify the relationship dynamics, indicate that you're willing to walk away if your needs aren't fulfilled. In the end, boundaries help you identify women who appreciate you and deepen connections with those who do. The fourth strategy: maintain composure under stress. In the realm of psychological tactics, your greatest asset is the ability to stay composed under stress. Women frequently test men to observe their reactions in challenging or provocative situations. They might mention their ex, flirt with other guys, or make subtle jabs, all to assess your emotional fortitude. While many men fall for these provocations, you will respond like a stoic, calm, collected, and fully in control. Why is this effective? By remaining calm and unresponsive, you effectively neutralize her tactics. She anticipates a reaction: anger, jealousy, or conflict. When you don't provide the response she seeks, you convey a strong message: you cannot manipulate me. Here are a couple of examples to illustrate this. Example 1. She mentions her ex. She might say, "My ex used to take me to this fantastic restaurant," or "I had such a great time with my ex last summer." This is her way of testing your emotional resilience, attempting to provoke feelings of insecurity or jealousy. Many men might say, "I don't want to hear about your ex," or "Why are you still thinking about him?" However, you can respond with poise. "That's fine. I'm sure he was a good guy." This way, you avoid giving her the reaction she seeks. Instead, you present yourself as confident, secure, and unpredictable, traits that are highly appealing. In another scenario, if she flirts with another guy, laughing a bit too much at his jokes, most men might feel the urge to compete or confront her. A stoic man, however, remains composed. You observe without getting involved, demonstrating that you're unfazed. If she's seeking your attention through this behavior, your calmness will perplex her and make her question your lack of reaction. This is when the dynamic shifts back in your favor. The takeaway: don't let your emotions dictate your actions. By staying calm in challenging situations, you project strength and confidence. Women are attracted to men who can keep their cool even when provoked. The fifth strategy: emphasize long-term objectives. A common error men make in relationships is valuing immediate validation over their long-term aspirations. They often become engrossed in the thrill of affection, the desire for attention, or the impulse to quickly resolve issues. However, Stoicism encourages us to keep our eyes on the larger picture. By concentrating on your long-term objectives, such as advancing your career, enhancing your fitness, or personal development, you naturally distance yourself from the everyday turmoil of a relationship. Why is this effective? You become less emotionally reactive. When your happiness isn't tied to her attention or approval, you stop overreacting to trivial challenges. Your focus on your goals prevents you from being affected by minor conflicts. You become more attractive. Women are attracted to men with a sense of purpose. A man who is ambitious and dedicated to his goals radiates confidence and independence, traits that are highly appealing. Example: scenario: she begins to withdraw. You've been dating a woman for a few weeks, and everything appears to be going smoothly. She suddenly starts to pull away, texting less, making fewer plans, and seeming distant. Most guys would respond with panic, overthinking, and flooding her with messages. They might become overly available in an attempt to fix things. However, a man with long-term goals reacts differently. He remains unfazed. He keeps himself occupied with his career, fitness, and personal interests. He allows her to come to him. Why? Because his self-worth isn't tied to her attention. He's focused on building his future, enhancing himself, and achieving his aspirations. If she wants to join him on that path, that's great. If not, he won't lose any sleep over it. The advantages of a long-term mindset. By prioritizing your goals, you achieve emotional independence. You no longer rely on her approval because your motivation comes from your own progress. Differentiate yourself. You're not the guy waiting for her call or changing your life to pursue her. You're the one living a fulfilling life. Naturally attract interest. Women are attracted to men with ambition and purpose. By concentrating on your goals, you show that you are a man of worth. We've explored the first strategies with women's games, but this is only half the picture. In the next part, we'll dive into the remaining strategies with women's games. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the continuation.